Hello. Today I want to talk about what the voters actually said in this election. The Democrats that are actually looking at the election aren't too pleased. They're pleased with Biden, but they are not pleased with what happened down ballot. And basically, it's pretty simple. The voters said Trump's an asshole. We don't really like him that much. He's, in general, obviously the Trump supporters love him, but in general, a lot of voters said Trump's an asshole. We're not going to vote for him, but we do not like the Democratic platform, which is defund the police, at least the far left platform, defund the police. America's bad. It's racist. It's a terrible place. Socialism, communism, etc., etc. They rejected that. A lot of people didn't vote for Trump, but down ballot, they voted for the Republicans. Now, this should have been a slam dunk for the Democrats this year. They should have taken the Senate. They should have increased their House lead, and that's what usually happens when a new party is placed in as president. That party usually makes gains or takes the chambers of the House. That's what happened when Trump got elected. Remember, in Trump's first term, he had a Republican Congress and a Republican Senate. Here, it's like they missed a wide open layup. They didn't have a message other than Trump is bad, and it's going to hurt them. The Republicans had a horrible setup this election cycle. In the Senate, they had many more vulnerable seats that they kept. The Democrats should be in control of the Senate. They still might be, but it's two incumbents in Georgia, and the two that are running against the two incumbents are leftist. So I expect them to win both. If somehow the Democrats should win, not win any, they could win one, but the Senate's going to be in control of the Republicans, and I thank God that it's in control of the Republicans. Divided government is usually the best government. With a Republican-controlled Senate, you're not going to get a lot of the excesses that the Democrats would try to hoist on the American people. You know, they would try to pack the Supreme Court, raise taxes. They can still raise taxes by letting the Trump tax cuts lapse, but you're not going to get any major, huge tax increase. And making Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. states, but only for the purposes of getting 4 new senators in the Senate so they could control the Senate. A lot of the crazy leftist AOC policies, the Green New Deal, will either be highly modified in order to get passed or just blocked. Now you're going to see Mitch McConnell become the new devil because the Democrats have to. I think CNN is going to go out of business if they don't find a new devil. They were Trump orange man bad 24/7. I don't know what they're going to talk about. Mitch McConnell doesn't quite have the same panache to make him the new orange man bad. He doesn't tweet like Trump does, but he's going to become the new boogeyman. The state legislature was very important in this election as well. The Republicans held the state legislatures that they had, and they flipped some. Now, this is important because every 10 years there's a census. And when the census happens, the districts in each state redistrict their states. And whoever's in charge of the legislature is in charge of redistricting. And I made a video about gerrymandering. And the Republicans hold more states, so they're going to gerrymander districts to help Republicans. The Democrats have a second thing going against them as far as the House, that they're going to lose the House in 2020. That's probably an 80% chance. In off-year elections, the party that does not hold the presidency almost always loses seats. And with the state legislatures staying Republican or going Republican, it's going to be even worse. So you're going to see I think, the best government, a totally divided government, with Biden basically not being able to do anything without the Republicans, and the Republicans not being able to do anything without the Democrats. So in that way, they need to compromise or they don't do anything. So it's either going to be a government that compromises or that is stagnant, which is okay, because a solidly Republican or solidly Democratic state is bad. Like Utah, I give Utah as an example, as a Republican state, and you have some Republican excesses there. New York is too Democratic. You have Democratic excesses. California is the worst. You see all sorts of crazy laws coming from their legislature because there's no opposition to check them. So basically what the American people said was, Orange Man is bad, even though I don't agree with it, but that's what they said. Orange Man is bad, but the Democratic radical platform is bad too. And I believe that most of the American people want a divided government. They want a government that's going to compromise, because compromise is usually what's best for the people. It just is. Which is why you see the Senate staying in Republican hands, and the House, the Republicans were supposed to get shellacked in this cycle. It didn't happen. Republicans actually gained seats, which is terrible for Nancy Pelosi. She was already looking at offices for all the new Democratic congressmen and women that she would have. Didn't happen, and it's going to be it's still going to be under her control, but she's got to keep all of her Democrats in line, or even the House could give her trouble in some of the initiatives that the Democrats are going to try to get passed. Anyway, that's about all. Remember, never to believe in anybody's propaganda, not even your own. Thanks. Bye-bye.